legal things. Anyways, we have a phone call on the line. Barry from Shreveport. Barry, what's going on?
Good morning.
Morning, how are you?
Morning.
I was going to read your tweet, but then I saw you called in, so I figured I'd let you say it on the air.
Yes, ma'am. Steve.
Yeah.
You got to be careful with these proclamations about the Giants. You know what happens when you back a wounded dog into a corner, right?
Well, you either shoot it or it bites you.
Puppies.
What I'm saying is you got to throw out the stats. You got to throw out the records. The Cowboys are going to have to come with their A game, and this is going to be a dogfight. I'm telling you. If the Cowboys don't come with their A game, they could very well lose this game. And it's going to be like that when it's a division opponent. So I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree with it. I think the Cowboys are really this is going to be a tight one. So that's all I got to say.
All
Y'all
right.
have a nice day.
Thanks, Barry.
Thank you.
I'm sure Eagles fans felt the same way last week. Divisional foe at home, 27-0. The Giants had no chance to score in that game.
Clarence Yee on Twitter says, I'm not buying the blowout. The last time we beat an NFC opponent by 21 points or more was Philly in 2009. It doesn't happen.
Okay. I'm worried about the Redskins next week.
Are you more worried about the Redskins than you are Giants?
Yep.
Which is funny because the Redskins have a worse record, but, we all know that.
And they got beat 45-14 by the Giants on the road. The Giants will play better than they played on the road against Philly.
Yeah, they'll play better.
They won't play as well as they played on the Redskins. That's an interesting schedule. What is that, 3 out of 4 weeks that they played on the road against their division teams?
If I could figure out their media packet.
No one understands this, New York.
First page. Gotta be, quick.
Okay. Don't yell
Here,
at me.
you know what? I'm going to give you one, too. You guys can work on that.
Okay. I'm just saying, it's interesting how they
lost their opener to Detroit 35-14. They lost to Arizona 25-14. They beat Houston 30-17.
Right.
They beat Washington 45-14. They beat Atlanta 30-20.
Okay.
There you go.
No.
They got spanked.
No,
by
that's
Philly.
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is 3 out of 4 weeks from September 25th to this Sunday, 3 out of 4 games they're playing. They're all 3 of their division road games in a 4-week span. At Washington, then they got Atlanta, then at Philly, at the Cowboys. That's interesting that they did that. Now the Cowboys, it's not that different for them. They've got to do that too on the road. Let's see, they do it out of 6 weeks. Giants right before Thanksgiving. Then they got the Eagles. Then they got at the Bears, at the Eagles, Colts.
That's going to be a really important stint, I think, for this team. I mean, we talked a little bit yesterday about kind of reassessing the schedule a bit. But I think, honestly, very obviously, it's important that the Cowboys run the ball, especially in those last games. It's going to be cold. It's going to be freezing. And to stack up wins early right now, because that is a tough schedule to go and play, you get one home game in December?
Yeah.
When you're trying to,
but
turn
it's
this
better.
team around?
I mean, this team has been built around being Romo friendly and Romo and this offense throwing the ball around. And when you get to games where you're playing and it's 12 degrees outside and you can't play like that. You need to play to your strength. You can't play to your strength. And in these games, you'd like to think the Cowboys will be able to play to those strengths. And that's a huge advantage.
Yeah, and I'm looking over this. Fitzpatrick had 3 interceptions in the loss to Houston. Cousins had 5 in the loss to Washington. Atlanta turned it over. I can't remember how many times when they got beat. That's the whole key. If the Cowboys don't turn it over, they win easy. Now, all you people that are saying this is going to be a tight game, if the Cowboys are throwing interceptions or fumbling it, then I agree. It's going to be a tight game. If that doesn't happen, it's going to be an easy one.
So we've talked about how the Cowboys in the past haven't been the best at handling success, and granted, they are 5-1 right now, so it's obviously an exciting time for a lot of Cowboys fans. But do you really trust this team yet, still, to moving forward, be able to handle this success and continue to build upon those wins?
It's growing each week. Because this is a team last year that couldn't really get that 2 wins in a row. They couldn't get off that. I mean, they were 1-1, 2-2, 3-3, 4-4, 5-5, 6-6, and then 8-8. They were not 7-7, but that's amazing. They they can't sustain it, but yet they're not going to stay down long either. That's what this team has been. Now we're seeing a team that does build off of that. I mean, beating San Francisco or the New Orleans like that. Houston was a trap game all the way, and they didn't play that great, but they still found a way to win it. I mean, they're finding a way to win and not playing their best. And who would have thought? I mean, who would have thought you would say, hey, this team, special teams, they're gonna get down 10-0 to Seattle, and they're gonna have 3 turnovers in the game.
And come back and hang on.
If I just told you on Friday, my gut feeling is Seattle gets up to a 10-0 lead after another block punt for a touchdown. I think Dwayne Harris is going to play the worst game of his career. I think he's going to fumble one inside the 10. I think Seattle's going to have 3 possessions inside the 40-yard line that they start. I don't think the Cowboys will get a sack.
They've proven they can handle adversity, and you're right. I think now they have to prove they can handle success. But if this is Jason Garrett and all the gobbledygook getting over the hump, that's what he preaches. Adversity is the same thing as success. They put their head down and go to work. Jerry gave him a hell of a compliment this week, saying it was a crowning moment for him. And he immediately said, yeah, whatever, we're going back to work.
He even went as far
That's what they do. Yeah. So, I think they're built to handle the success and the adversity. I think they've proven that. But, yeah, we got to see it. They're 5-1. Let's see, But I don't have any doubt they'll handle the success.
So who has a big game this weekend then? Obviously.